Hello everyone. So today let us create an issue using nothing but a shell script. And if you are following this video series on Jira REST API, I have talked about a lot of wonderful things so far. I think since last year I have been talking about how you can create issues in Jira using REST API, and I have talked about different endpoints. I have talked about using Talent API tester, but recently I started making videos on interacting with Jira using nothing but a shell script. And so far I think I've made like 5 or 6 videos, but I thought I'll probably also create a video on creating an issue, because that is the most fundamental thing that you have to do in Jira, like create an issue. So let us do that, and I do have a script with me that I will of course share on GitHub. But the idea here is to not to give you a script, which of course I will share anyways. But the idea here is that you learn how to do it. Now, the endpoint that we're talking about is this. We're talking about REST API, REST slash API slash 3 slash issue. And when you create an issue, you have to basically pass a body with some mandatory fields like summary, issue type, and a project. But if you want, you can also pass in the priority, or maybe you can also populate custom fields, or maybe you want to also populate the description. You can also do that. Now, the script that I was trying to show you is this one. Now, this script, if you look at the script, it is basically doing, I'll probably talk about the curl command here, because that is where the main thing is happening. So this curl command is basically using the same endpoint that I just talked about, and it is of course going to work on this JSON, which we are building above on top. Now, when you're of course working with shell script, because you have some capabilities here to write a script and of course take input from the user if you need to. But in this example, I have some of the mandatory fields required for issue creation defined as a variable on top, like we have issue type ID, project ID, which is of course right now is hard coded. But if you remember, I think one of my recent video was actually on getting a list of all the issues, and along with of course issue types along with the IDs. Although I did talk about parsing JQL, which is basically getting issues. So the idea here is that you can actually define these variables, and of course it is a shell script, so you can also like take the input from the user, like $1, $2, and you can maybe add a condition here, right? Like if there is no input, then use these options. But of course, just for the sake of simplicity, let us define these variables on top. And the thing with the shell script is that it is a bit difficult. It is a bit of a pain to manage double quotes within single quotes and single quotes within double quotes. So this is a very nice trick, which I of course found online on Stack Overflow. Basically, you can actually create a template of the JSON. And by the way, to create a JSON, there are a couple of ways. Again, you can use JQ, but I personally prefer whenever it comes to creating a JSON, proper JSON, if it is simple, I do it manually. Why use another tool? But of course, JQ is something that I have been using in my scripts for parsing the JQL. But you can also use JQ. But if it is a simple JSON, then of course you can create it manually. So you can actually create this template with $S, and so on. And of course, when you print it later on, you can actually replace those not dollar but %s values with the actual string values. So you can actually have this final JSON created for you. And if I maybe show you, I'll probably show you the JSON first. So if you do echo JSON, I'll probably enclose it within double quotes, JSON underscore final, come on. And I'll probably not execute the curl command. I'll exit here. So where is my terminal? Okay, so if I run this, you can see this JSON, which is basically proper JSON, where we have all the necessary information filled in from you, of course, using a template and all those variables. So this is looking good, and I'll probably get rid of this, and I'll simply execute now. So let us say you want to create an issue where, of course, the issue ID and the project ID is right now hard coded, or basically you need the ID, which you can also anyway fetch from another endpoint. So you can actually combine multiple shell scripts if you need to. So let us say we have a description called this is a description of the issue and summary. Okay, test issue created from a shell script. And whenever you're dealing with spaces in a string, using a template will probably work better, because when you try to use this variable within like this variable called summary within single quotes, it will not work. So let us now run this, and let us see if the issue is created successfully. If you get the issue creation response with a key, it means that you have the issue. So AN34 is my issue. So let me just bring in my browser, and I'll take a look at my issue, and let us see if we have the issue with the proper with all the proper fields and description, and hopefully it will work. So we have the test issue created from a shell script. This is a description. Hopefully we can also see the, and of course this is in the right project, and of course because we have the issue type also, like the type ID. I believe the type ID is, so this is basically the task, and on the right hand side you can see the priority, which of course you can change, and that is it really. I thought I'll probably talk about this because I do these things, as I mentioned before, quite a lot for saving time and of course for making my life a lot easier. And that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you are enjoying the video series that I'm making on Jira REST API plus shell scripts. Bye bye.